7, 64. I'm not familiar with the case, but I'm familiar with them being down there for the hurricane duty.
So, Sergeant, tighten up the screws, man. You know what I mean? Like, say, hey, look, guys, I don't want this attention anymore. And if you're going to do something, don't do it in front of me. And no more thin blue line, you know? Let's stop,
For the people.
covering each other.
For the people.
Thank you.
Power does what it wants. Power does what it wants.
Hey everybody, Rates Crispy here in the bar. There's some cops watching us over there. Right across the street at the school. Hey.
Hello. Hey,
how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, no, just leave it like that. Nobody's gonna break in here. We don't have to lock it, right?
What's that, the car?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I always suggested you lock your car.
No, but you run a safe town, right? I'd like to put in a records request for something real quick. You probably have it on hand.
You have to go do that at the main office.
Well, I can put it in with you. You could send it to them.
No.
Just take down my... Yeah, the Florida law works that way.
I got
Let's
the
obey
law.
the law,
I got the
come
law
on.
in my book if you gentlemen need to see it.
Let me call them.
Yeah, all you got to do is take down my email address and what I'm requesting and send it to them, and they'll send it to me.
No, you gotta pay for any
Documents.
documents and stuff like that. That's why you have to go to the main office.
Right.
Sir,
you have to
if
pay for it,
if
yeah.
I ask them to email it to me in a PDF form, I don't have to pay. I've done this a lot. Trust me. Don't ever trust anybody that says trust me, except right now.
That makes no sense.
Oh, they got Almond Joy. Nice. My favorite.
$64. 57. I don't know why I said 64. Can you open up a card for the D2 office, please?
Pieces of candy. That's dandy.
Yeah.
And we got also for Halloween here.
There's it for the school.
This is what you guys cover here, Sergeant?
What's that?
That's all you guys cover?
No, this is just Navarre
Just the
Beach
beach.
here.
Okay.
And this is just the roads on. And this might not even be all. Oh, yeah, that's it. So that's State Park. This is State Park. And then this go to the mainland where 98 is here.
Gotcha. Sergeant Nix, you got family down in Fort Myers? Or
I do
Miramar?
not. No, I do
No.
not. Miramar Beach? That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Nix is a very popular name down here, but I'm not related to a lot of them.
Oh, he's an LEO too, so.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm, so there's a lot in Escambia as well. Well,
Yeah.
my family's mostly from North Alabama.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
That's a pretty part of the country. I like Northern Alabama.
yeah, it's not bad.
See, all I wanted really is the policies and procedures. If you guys have that in PDF format, that you can send me.
You know what? We were just talking about if policies and procedures were public record or not.
Yeah, general
We were
orders
just-
are.
Yeah, we were just literally talking to somebody.
You guys have any stickers like
Yeah,
these?
you got better handwriting than me. Just write down what he wants.
Sure. Thank you, please.
You got it?
Sure.
I don't even have my pad. I left it in the car.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Do you gentlemen have any stickers like this? I collect them from all over the country when I go out.
There's one right over there.
There we go.
Oh, there we
Is
go.
that kind of like
So general orders or policies and procedures, whatever you guys call them here, and in a PDF form. Add a couple more things. Names, badge numbers, and vehicle assignments for all the deputies. And signal codes and 10 codes.
This is a code
Vehicle
office.
assignments. There you go.
Look at that. I'm gonna pop that bad boy right there.
And signal codes and 10 codes. And my email is rights, R-I-G-H-T-S, Crispy, CRISPY at gmail.com.
CRASPY?
SPY, yes, at gmail.com. Thank you. That's it. You guys have crime to fight. So. Oh, is that activated?
Yes.
Oh, can
Anytime
you
we
give me a copy of that as well, please?
Yep.
Thanks. Sergeant Nix's body cam for this non-incident, this consensual
Yeah.
conversation.
Has your department done First Amendment training on the right to record in public? Like, I was just at the health department, and the lady there didn't want to be recorded. I told her it was a public lobby.
So you know, county and we're not all the same type of training because obviously we're just law enforcement. All the training we've had on most of our stuff is what occurs here, and with our body cams, I don't know what kind of training they've had.
Okay. Well, the reason I was asking because, let's say if I'm in a building.
You got today's date.
Today's
18th.
18th, yeah.
Let's say if I'm in a building, a public building, and they say, oh, they called you guys, say, hey, these guys are in here recording.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know how to handle that situation?
Yeah, we would respond and then give both sides of the story to try to figure out what's going on. But obviously, if it's a public place where public eyes can be recorded.
Okay.
So-
That's good to hear that you would get both sides of the
Yeah.
story. Usually
Well,
it's just like,
and I-
I'm
because
going
you
with the
never know-
Karen,
and you never
that's
know
it.
exactly what the circumstances are. Some people just see cameras and they might take it as somebody being aggressive towards them, and
Right.
it might not be that at all.
That's
Right.
the opposite of how we operate,
Yeah.
as you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I've always
Try to
Yeah, I
tried
try
to.
to make sure everybody knows, hey, I'm the press, I'm here to do a story. And I get it, you know, people sometimes
And
are
they're intimidated
uncomfortable.
by cameras too.
Right.
And they don't. And they always. I mean, you never see good incidents published. You only see
Oh,
bad
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
published.
Well,
And
that's something that sets us apart.
And
We,
if you do publish the good things, they don't get the clicks or the views.
No, they don't.
That the things that.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because we're trying to show both sides to let the public know, hey, there is a good and there is a bad.
we
you
let the
know?
stars shine, snowflakes melt.
Yeah.
I like you to be a good example to other agencies of how to behave, how to act, how to treat the citizenry that you're commanded
way it
to
should be.
take care
As a
of.
matter
Exactly.
of fact,
Yeah.
I did the city hall in Biloxi. They passed with flying colors.
Yeah.
They did such a
They
good
probably
job.
had study or
Right,
training on it or
Right,
something
they
like
had
that.
training on
But
it.
you know, we
Just email it to Adam.
our job is kind of hard, you know, with all the
Thank
different
you.
complexes, all the different layers.
course, of
So
laws,
some
yeah.
things, some
Slip through
deputies
the
probably have
cracks.
never dealt with before. It could
Right.
just being a rookie deputy or just
Okay.
being confronted with some type of obstacle that they're not familiar with. They don't know how to get through it exactly. So
Right.
sometimes they force the way, or sometimes they,
Well,
you know.
You could have a rookie deputy that spent 29 years in the Air Force as security police
I bring the
and
law.
still violate someone's rights.
Well, yeah, I mean, anybody can do any of that.
But you don't like working with bad apples, right?
No.
Help
no,
me
but
help you.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, it's what I tell everybody. Doesn't matter if you're a first grade teacher or clerk at Walmart.
Yeah.
You're going to have good employees. You're going to have bad employees.
But this job attracts certain people. And it's not about
Should be.
training, it's about hiring. You got to make sure that you just don't hire anybody because you need bodies.
So
I
that's
get
why,
it.
You know, we go through an extensive background.
Yeah.
You know, and then our applications. Big.
Yeah, and a 19-year-old kid that hasn't gotten in trouble yet can still be a sociopath looking to abuse that badge. So you got to
I'll
keep
leave
your
my
eye on him.
cards there, so
Okay.
in case you guys do find anybody, because sometimes I know it's hard to complain
Right.
to the upper management. You know what I mean? Because I've been doing this for years. So
And we were lucky. We work for a great sheriff and great
Yeah, he's a good
administration. They're really receptive of
Okay.
anything we've got.
Because I
I
also
mean,
go
we're
on-
blessed. We really are.
I also go on LEO forums, and I read the comments from the officers, so I know all kinds of stuff that's going on in the department.
Yeah.
Interrelationships.
So they have that. I'm not in tune with that kind of stuff at all. I worry about my shift, my district.
Oh,
work,
Yeah.
so
you'd be
I'm
surprised
not-
what they put out there in public. I mean, Seminole County, Florida. I knew that the captain gets drunk all the time in his police cruiser. Okay, and they actually busted him. He was passed out at a stoplight.
I remember that.
Cops came,
And they let him go.
let him go. So I was the captain, let him go. And they talked about it on the board. They said, "Oh, this guy's at
Oh,
I
they
think
talk
it's
about
Chili's."
this thing.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
would is it like anonymous boards or something?
It is anonymous, so they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've done 3 stories on this agency already, and one of them I'm sure you can't comment. They're in litigation. They're going to sue you for millions of dollars because
Really?
you arrested a couple on felony theft charges when they didn't even take anybody's dog. It was a dog. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, what happened to you guys? You both went to jail, right?
Yes. Yes.
Your liberty was taken over this dog. They charged you with grand theft under 5,000, right? The deputy put that down. and no evidence that you guys stole her dog based off of a doctored video. So she gave it to the cops. They were all on board. They said, "Yeah, put me in, coach."
Yes, sir.
Santa Rosa County Judge Darlene Dickey signed a warrant based off of a video that three deputies, including a lieutenant, presented to her as probable cause to arrest not just you, but your wife as well.
Yes.
Yeah, my wife's cousins were pulled over,
I was involved in
and that one
too.
deputy smacking the door
I was
in.
the sergeant who showed up on scene and spoke to
Shelley.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Military.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And now I'm getting that.
I didn't get out of my. You.
Shut the door for your own safety.
No.
All right, fine. Do whatever you want. I'm fucking done with it.
Such a big deal.
So what it is obviously you can't sit on the shoulder of a road anyways, but when you're this close to a traffic stop, it's basically impeding the investigation of that traffic stop. That's why you either have to leave or identify yourself.
Yeah, so you know that's my
Yeah.
wife's cousins. And
Okay.
she earned that Purple Heart.
Yeah.
And it's not that she was asking to be entitled to some extra privilege. She was just trying to convey, hey, I get it. Why you're, nervous. I was a veteran and I was shot with an RPG on the roadside, so I get it. But I mean, no harm. I haven't gotten out. I'm looking in the mirror, just keeping an eye on my sister. She doesn't know where my new place is. She was following me there. I can't just leave her here.
Yeah.
You know?
So all of it is very unfortunate.
Yeah, and then this latest one was Mike the Butcher. He works 70 hours a week at Winn-Dixie as a butcher. And he was as a passenger in the back seat of the car when his son-in-law was taking him back to work from his lunch break. And he gave his ID to your deputies. And then when they ran it, found nothing because he's never been in trouble with the law. They asked him again. He asked them why. They tackled this man to the ground. They hurt his back. He has fused vertebrae.
Sir, I need your ID.
For what?
Because I got the right to identify you. You're in a vehicle.
No, sir, you do not. I have not committed a crime.
All right, turn.
Wow! Wow! Holy sh! You do understand that if you arrest me, I will take this to court and I will sue.
Pick a number. Let's stand in line. We get this all the time.
Their actions were totally inexcusable, and we do not tolerate it here at Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, that happened.
And
And he went to court. He was going to fight this and go to trial and everything. And your two deputies didn't show up to court. Anybody else would have had a capious writ. Yeah. Well, no, Milton. Milton.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that at all.
Yeah, they didn't show up. They said that they were down South Florida for hurricane relief. And I mean, any one of us would have gotten a capious writ put on us.
Okay.
They didn't show up to court.
I'm familiar with that. But I'm not familiar with the case, but I'm familiar with them being down there for the hurricane duty.
So, Sergeant, tighten up the screws, man. You know what I mean? Like, say, hey, look, guys, I don't want this attention anymore. And if you're going to do something, don't do it in front of me. And no more thin blue line. Let's stop,
For the people.
covering each other.
For the people.
And get rid of the bad apples.
Because the American public wants to support the police, right? They want to support them because we need them. Everybody knows we need the police. We don't want murderers and rapists out there running around.
And I teach my kids the difference between good ones and bad ones, and I want them to look at you with respect instead of fear.
Yeah, but when you have bad police, that makes your job harder because now they're releasing criminals.
Get your name. I don't know if they need
Finn.
that. I don't know if they need that for the
No.
request or if they don't.
No, I can do it anonymously, but you could say I'm Finn.
They didn't know the law or they didn't do the job the right way.
Nice to
So
meet
it
you.
hurts
Put her
all
there.
of us. Not just in the lawsuits that take,
All right, I sent that
hundreds of
email.
millions of dollars.
Thank you, brother. Stay safe.
Probably not in Santa Rosa County, but in a place like New York City, there's been $1 billion a year in lawsuits for civil rights violations.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant, I didn't hear the last part. I didn't hear the last.
I'm sending the email. I just didn't know if I needed your
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you, brother.
So, yeah, we want good police, right? We need good police. That's the whole thing. So.
Bad police cost our taxpayers
Yeah,
a lot of
did you
dollars in
see
lawsuits.
Just Monday, I think the police in Mobile, Alabama, had a guy handcuffed. He's down on his knees, handcuffed behind his back. Cops over his back, just wailing on his
I
head.
didn't see that.
Oh my God, it's bad.
I try, I'm one of those ones that do not try to watch any bad news. Like if it's negative, I don't like negativity.
Yeah.
So everything I try to read, try to be positive. So my news feeds on my X or Twitter, it's mostly always positive stuff. And if something negative pops up, I don't like watching. So I just say, don't show me this.
Same here. I create this. I go out and I look for negative things and I put it out there, but I look for positive things too, and that's what sets us both apart in our community. We do want people to be good examples.
Work together?
Well, no,
We're both independent. We both have different channels, but we don't go out. We're not F you, F that.
Right.
We're not
trying to get a chip
involving
off our
ourselves
shoulder.
into the scene. We're not, trying to get involved in any way. And like I'll stay quiet. Like I'll go into a public building and I'll walk around. I'll look at the walls. I'll do whatever until somebody comes up and says, "Hey, you're not allowed to film here." Then I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. I am allowed to film here. I'm nice and calm and quiet." And then, a lot of times people come and, well, they don't want you to be here, so you're going to have to leave.
We don't create the problems or the bad things. We document it, though. We document it, and hopefully your command staff sees where the corrections need to be made from your officers.
Because
you're supposed to
when
be
a
the best of
citizen
us.
is somewhere
Do the
where
best.
they're allowed to be, they're allowed to record. And we know this is true because in Florida specifically, the wiretapping statute, if I was to come in a building that the public's allowed to be in and I was recording secretly, there's no law against it. There's nothing you could do. So how can I do that secretly, but if I come in with this, all of a sudden I'm breaking the law?
Speaking of which,
Doesn't make any sense.
the policies and procedures or your general orders should be public, not tactical secrets that you would have to do, like how you make a dynamic entry or breach a door. But if you're allowed to turn on your lights to go through a red light when there's no active emergency, stuff like that, that would be on your, what's your use of force policy? What's your threat level matrix, 1 to 6? So we know if you step out of line, we the people can make that complaint. And I'll get your vehicle numbers and see who just cut me off and call you and say, hey, this guy's driving like a maniac. He's going to get somebody killed. And it's happened in Bakersfield, California. We went and told them, they ignored us. Next thing you know, the deputy ran over, Kern County deputy ran over and killed some people on the bike.
And they don't show you anything, then it's
you got a lot of equipment you got to focus on in there. So stay frosty, stay focused, head on a swivel.
Such violated policy and procedure number this and this. Officer violated policy and procedure this and this. Now the IA guy doesn't have to go and look to see if the officer violated. It's right there for him, so he can make a better and quicker decision and hopefully clear up some of IA's caseloads.
I've never been an IA.
Good. Keep it that way.
Well, no, I was asking them if they worked for IA.
Yeah.
If you had done any
that's
work
what I meant,
for
work for
IA.
IA.
Yeah, because I'm sure they get tons of complaints from tons of citizens all day long, and it's
Well,
just
usually they're fielded by the sergeant or the lieutenant.
okay. And what I was
And
saying,
some of them are. I mean, we get complaints on driving. Sometimes they just don't realize,
You go into a scene.
for instance, they may turn their lights on to get through. They can't do it if they're not responding to,
Right.
And there's only certain
type of
crimes
calls,
that you can respond to with lights and sirens.
Right.
But however, it could be a domestic in progress, and they may call the sergeant or supervisor and say, "Can I bust through this light?" Because
Understood.
it is physical, but it's not necessarily
life or death
meets
yet.
the criteria.
The one time I've seen that, I did that. I thought about all those scenarios and I asked, were there any calls?
Yeah.
Before I asked about their policy, I said, okay, now, is he allowed to do it? No, he's not.
We try to be fair.
Yeah.
Because that's what the world needs, people that are fair.
57, you calling me?
You guys, you got business.
Yeah, you got crime to fight.
Y'all have good
Thank
days.
you. Take care. Stay safe.
10-4. 1 second, please. Can you do the 2255 number down to G2?
Sorry, Charlie.